Hello and welcome to another update. In this one I'll be covering the whole front line starting out in the Luhansk region. So starting out, the Russian forces after the capture of Hryaniivka are now attacking in the direction of Masyotivka, which is this tiny village here by the forest line. It is to the point you cannot even see any buildings, you can only see the forests. So we can see that the Russian forces are going to be doing a lot of forest battles here to the south of Hryaniivka and all the way down to Sinkivka, which is a village that they're also attacking here to the south of the Hryaniivka element Pershivilshana area and to the north of Kupiansk. As for further south, the Russian forces continue their attacks in the direction of Selmahivka, which is this village by the river line. And in the Crimea front, the Russian forces are attacking southwestwards of Plashenka, trying to recapture this area which the Ukrainians retook a week ago. And then we move on to this part here west of Zhenopopivka, where the Russian forces continue their attacks after they have been stalled since the 4th of February. As for the Bilohorivka area, they're fighting here as well, which is another place they're fighting and have been continuously fighting for a lot of time, and they haven't advanced since the 4th of February here either. As for the Wyemka area, the Russian forces are fighting in this direction, but most likely it is this part here which they have been advancing in the early February to mid-February, but they haven't advanced since the 13th, and then they're moving upwards by the rail lines, as these areas are the only places with forests. In these other areas, there aren't a lot of trees, so this is the only cover they can get. They are also attacking in the direction of Rostolivka, Fedorivka, and Vasyokivka. As they try to advance within these areas, we can see here that the Russian forces have advanced early on in the month, but haven't advanced since then. And then in the direction of Vasyokivka, they advanced recently on the 15th. So their focus is currently around the Vasyokivka area, which their main fighting force is attacking at. Then we have to the southwest of Selizhnyansk, where the Russian forces continue their attacks in this direction to capture more territory of the highway. And again, this is another place they've been capturing areas in lately. But most importantly is their Russian advance in the direction of Dubovo-Vasilivka as well as Berhivka, as they continuously advance even after the capture of Pereskovivka. They've advanced southwestwards in these directions and recently captured this area here to the north of Berhivka. Yesterday, and to the east of Berhivka as well, they have entered the northern outskirts of Bakhmut, or it can be considered as part of Yahidne. And then here as well, they've captured all the way up from Pitorodne to the river line by the Bakhmutovka river. With a connection between the forces here, they can go around and advance within the city itself. By capturing this area here, they can flank the Ukrainian defenses at Berhivka and Dubovo-Vasilivka, and they'll also be able to cut off the road that goes through these villages. And then moving on to Bakhmut itself, the Russian forces continue their attacks within the city, where they have captured this part of the art winery on the western bank of the river line that goes through the city. And we can see here that the Russian forces have advanced from the art winery from the north, and are now advancing to the art winery at the south, where there's these buildings and factories here to the southwest, and there's a medical center, there's some sort of school, education center. So the Russian forces are continuing their attacks in this direction, also to the southern direction in the eastern residential area of the city, and they're also continuing their attacks to the south of Bakhmut. As for the southwestern area, the fighting continues in both the southwestern outskirts of Bakhmut, but also in the direction of Ivanivske and to the northwest of Klishchivka, where there's been geolocated a video of a Ukrainian tank shooting at Russian soldiers, and there's been reports of Russian fighters attacking in the direction of Chesev Yar. So this direction here, there's a lot of fighting across the canal. Then we move on to the Donetsk front, where the Russian forces are attacking on this whole front line, attacking the direction of the west of Vodiane, as well as Pervomaiske and Marinka, as well as Pobieda, Novomikhailivka and Ugledar. As Russian forces continue to attempt to advance within these villages, but haven't seen any success for a long time, except for Marinka, where they have recently advanced in a couple of days ago. And then we have the final update in the Zaporizhia front, where the Russian forces have restarted attacks in the direction of Novodanilivka, as they have recently launched an artillery strike on the city and are now advancing towards it from the south. And that is all for today's update. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.